In this video, I'll show you some of the best AI tools specifically for finance. These tools cover the entire workflow of a financial analyst, starting with AI tools to research companies, then for importing and cleaning data, followed by analyzing and creating financial models, and finally to create pitch decks or presentations. Learning these tools effectively will save you hours every week. Let's get into it. And thanks to HubSpot for sponsoring this video. Starting with researching or parsing for data, I find a tool called Fintool to be a fair bit more accurate than Claude or ChatGPT, which have some tendencies to hallucinate. In its interface, as you can see it right here, I could ask for draft an investment thesis for MSFT, which is the stock ticker for Microsoft. Just hit enter there to run that. And in just a few seconds, it looks like it finally has an output, starting with an executive summary. Then it's got some different scenarios of what might happen and the reasons for it. And if we keep scrolling down, it's got some breakdowns with different tables to back up a bit of the data there. You can see some growth catalysts first, some risk factors, the management scorecard, and at the very end of it, you'll notice we also get some kind of investment conclusion, which is typically how an investment thesis would look. From here, once we're done, we can easily save it as a PDF or ask any follow-up questions. That's just one example though, and it only has one company that we're analyzing. Another useful case is for screening. For instance, over here, you can see that I'm looking for companies in consumer retail that specifically have insider buying. So basically like the management or executive team buying shares in their own company. So that would maybe signify that they think the stock price is going to go up. Awesome, it looks like it's done. It says it's over the past 6 months, which I think is pretty relevant. And we can see the total purchases, who these people are, like in this case, the CEO of GameStop Corp. And towards the bottom, we have a bit more of a breakdown and explanation of what's happening. The main downside though of Fintool is that it's primarily for US equities. So if you want data on global companies like those that are in Europe, you would need to use another tool, which I would suggest Alphasense for. For example, here I am in the Alphasense website, and some of the suggestions they have if you're an investment banker is some pitch book preparation and market research. So you can see right here, it's gonna do a summary based off of 5,800 documents. And maybe if we go over to the last scenario, you can see it's got some due diligence and deal prep too. Once you identify the relevant data using the research tools, the next step would be to import all of that data so you can analyze it or maybe clean it up. For this, a great tool is Quadratic. Here we are on its website, and I'm just gonna open it up. This is what the interface looks like. You can see the interface is quite similar to Excel. Let's suppose that I wanna add this 80-page document. More specifically, that's the 10K or the annual report for Apple. And within it, I just wanted to extract the relevant data. So definitely not all of this stuff. So let's see how well it can do that. I'm just gonna go over here and add the relevant file, which is this one over here. I have it imported, and now I just need to ask it to import the balance sheet from this PDF. So out of 80 pages, we just want to extract the balance sheet. So let's see if it's able to do that. Awesome, now this is what it's been able to find for us. Let's double click here to see all of the numbers, and it looks like it ends with 359, which if we look inside of the actual balance sheet right here, that's the same number as what we have in the PDF. So it looks like it's extracting it correctly. The only thing though is probably the title here shouldn't just be assets, as this is for the entire balance sheet. And there's no liabilities and equity section that's boldened. So maybe this one down here should have been boldened too. And same thing with the dates. These two dates up top, the 2026 ones, aren't exactly relevant as the data is actually for 2025 and 2024. So you always want to make sure to check before you blindly trust the data. That's not all we can do with Quadratic though. Instead of just one PDF, we can do this with multiple. We can also go over to the connections and add live connections. Like for instance, add a link to your bank account. So whenever there's a new transaction, it's going to get reflected here. It's also got other features like this timer button down below to schedule tasks. You can see on the right, this pop-up, I can go ahead and schedule a task on a specific interval. The main downside for financial analysts is that you typically work in Excel. So next up, let's go over some tools that are built inside of Excel. Before we go over that, one of the easiest ways to boost your work productivity is learning how to use ChatGPT effectively, which you can do with HubSpot's 5 essential resources for using ChatGPT at work. By clicking the link in the description, you can access this resource completely for free. The download includes a template for setting clear guidelines in ChatGPT, a content refinement checklist, a 37-page guide to using ChatGPT at work, with over 100 prompts to try, and much more. Personally, I find the template for setting clear guidelines most useful, as I can tell ChatGPT to give me very consistent styles when it comes to the branding, the tone, and the writing. So I recommend visiting the link in the description below to download these completely free 5 essential resources for using ChatGPT at work. And thanks to HubSpot for sponsoring this video. Next up in the analysis and financial modeling section, we're gonna be using tools inside of Excel. So you can see right here, I've got this invoice description, and basically I just wanna extract the dates from here. So you might think of maybe just using something like the flash fill, simply by typing the first one manually. And then you wanna press Ctrl E to drag this all the way down. But you'll notice it doesn't quite work, and that's because the dates aren't always in the same position. Sometimes they're at the start, like over here, and even when they're at the end, like here, it's still adding some text. So instead, what you can do is use the COPILOT function that uses AI to do some more smart analysis. So the prompt here, I can just say extract the date, and the context is simply the area I'm interested in, which is all of this part. Hit enter there, and because it's a formula, we have a fair bit more control when it comes to what we select, and you'll notice it gives us the answers nicely. From here, I can always just paste them as values, so they don't ever change on me, and they're just hard-coded. Of course, that is a very simple example, so let's go over a slightly harder one. Over here, you can see I have some transactions like Starbucks coffee, and I want to categorize them based on these options. But you can't really use something like an XLOOKUP or a VLOOKUP, as the word coffee or Starbucks is clearly not in the categories, so there is no exact match. Instead, it needs to be a bit of a smart thinker, which is where the COPILOT function comes very handy. So I can say to categorize these transactions, comma, select the relevant transactions, which are all of these right here. And in quotations, I can put then based on these options, and we just want to select the relevant options, which are all of these categories right here. Close a parenthesis and hit enter. It's able to detect that a coffee should be categorized as food, that an Uber or a taxi are transport, so you can see how smart it actually is. While this works great for smaller tasks, when you need multi-step processes like creating an entire financial model, I find that Claude in Excel is probably a lot better. Let me show you what it looks like. It basically is an add-in. You can see it right here on the side that I now have it open, and you want to go to add-ins to install it, and from here under more add-ins, you're going to want to look up Claude. It's this very first one, and you do need a paid Claude account to use it, so just keep that in mind. From here, let me show you what it's able to do. Here's the prompt I have, which is basically for a loan amortization table where I want to see month by month what the different loan payments are, in this case for a mortgage. So how much is interest, how much is principal, and how much I have left on the loan outstanding. Awesome, so here's what it's come up with. You can see the hard-coded values are in blue, which is a best practice in financial modeling, and everything else that's in black is using formulas, so it all seems to be dynamic. For the ending balance, at the very end, it should be 0, so that seems to be the case, which is pretty promising. It looks like it's made a small error here on the left-hand side though. You'll notice for the months, it should go up, so in this case it's 20 years times 12, that would be 240. But it's just staying at month 2. This is why I say you can't just trust this type of tool blindly, as it does make errors. Sometimes with the same prompt, it's gonna get it right, but other times it's gonna get it wrong. So for more advanced analysis, like creating a discounted cash flow, personally, I don't think it's quite there yet, simply because it can make this type of silly errors. A tool that has a stronger focus on financial modeling than Claude is Tracklight. It also works like Claude as an add-in here on Excel. I'm just gonna activate it right now. And you'll notice that I have this model that's got a few different assumptions. I have a best case scenario, a base case, and a worst case for a software startup. So I'm thinking this is gonna be the starting monthly recurring revenue. You'll notice for the best case, it's a much higher growth rate than the base, and the worst case is the worst option of the three. Based on these assumptions, I want to create a profit and loss statement with a toggle so I'm able to choose whether it shows the best case, the base, or the worst case. So let me type that as instructions in here. I've written to build out a 12-month P&L based on these assumptions, make it dynamic so we can change the different cases, and I'm just gonna send that, give it a few seconds to think, and it should give me an answer in a new sheet. Awesome, so it looks like it's finished and it's created a full income statement for the 12 months like we asked it for. And actually we have this toggle up top for the different scenarios. So if I type the worst case in here and hit enter, you'll notice that all of my numbers update as it's made everything dynamic based on the assumption sheet to the side. I've also got the numbers with the right formatting, so a -1 is with these parentheses, which is quite common in financial modeling. Things like the margins, they've calculated as well. It seems to be in percentages, so that's all looking great. Let me close out of this over on the side, and there is a small formatting issue here. It seems like it's added an extra border, so that's something to keep in mind. Also for the scenarios here, ideally you should have a data validation. If not, if I just type worst and hit enter, you'll notice that it breaks the whole model, so that would be a best practice to add after using data validation. That said, this is a very impressive start, and I find this tool to be better than Claude and even Excel agent mode, specifically for financial modeling. Finally, once we're done with the data analysis and the financial modeling, the next step would be to present our insights, maybe through a pitch deck. For this, one of the newest and most exciting tools is Claude in PowerPoint. So let's open that up so I can show you what it does. I can ask it to create a company profile slide for AAPL, which is the ticker for Apple. This is a pretty common thing that you do in banking, for instance. As you can see, it's able to extract data from the internet, and it should be able to add that in the PowerPoint slide. Awesome, here's the final result, and you can see it's got the company overview, and we can easily change each of these parts. So that's nice that it works exactly like a PowerPoint slide. That said, personally, I probably wouldn't go for the black background. That's something we maybe should have said in the script. Down below over here, which we can't see that well, we do have the different sources, so that's a nice touch too. Let me just ask it to change the background color. Awesome, so you can see it's changed it to a white background, and from here we can easily edit any of these pieces. The other tool that's within PowerPoint is the COPILOT feature. So I would say that's the other one that you could have used for this type of analysis, but I find that when looking at data from the internet, Claude does a better job. Outside of PowerPoint, a great tool for any kind of slide making is Gamma, and if you want something that's more interactive, like maybe a dashboard, another suggestion is Bricks AI. One thing that we didn't quite cover in this video is Excel's agent mode, which you can learn with this video right over here, or you can take our AI for Business and Finance course over here. Hit that like and that subscribe, and I'll catch you in the